everybody, I'm Christy Rath. I have a small craft business called Rathations. You can find it on Facebook. I have been decoupaging wicker, all kinds and shapes and sizes of wicker, for about 18 years and never tried anything else until this year, but I feel like I'm a pretty good expert at decoupaging wicker, so I'm going to give you a quick tutorial and some tips that I use. So for myself, I use my hands to decoupage. I know a lot of people like to use paintbrushes, and you can use like a sponge brush like this or a regular paintbrush, but for me I use my fingers because it needs to get into all the nooks and crannies of the wicker. And you need to really press it down. That is key. If you don't press it right in there and down, there'll be like, I call it an air bubble under it when it dries, and it won't look nice. Another tip, I leave all the plies on my napkin. You could take the plies off, but for wicker, it just makes it a little more delicate. Maybe more like tissue paper, so it would be easier to tear it. I've been doing it a long time, so I can do it without all the plies, but I still run into situations where I might tear it. Now wicker, I find, is very forgivable. You won't be able to see wrinkles because you have all these nooks and crannies, and so it already makes it have a pattern and a shape. So you won't see wrinkles if there are some. And if you happen to tear the napkin, you just put like another piece right over it, and usually it's okay. When doing a picture that you want to make on your basket, do not overlap anywhere in what you want to see, because then that next piece that you've overlapped will show through, and it'll be either darker or you'll see two pictures showing through from the napkin depending on what has overlapped. So I try not to overlap too much unless it's a solid color. So today I'm going to be doing a Mr. Chef napkin. A lot of people like this for their kitchen. And when you open him up, he's 4 panels of the same with that nice border all the way around. So I will use a lot of that red background, and you know, that red, if it overlaps, it's okay. The only thing, like I said, it will look darker if it overlaps, but I try not to overlap too much. I'll just get some little spots I miss maybe. And for Mr. Chef, what I do is I cut him up ahead of time. That way your scissors don't get all gluey from your Mod Podge. So I have 2 full pieces, so I'll end up putting 1 full piece here with red on the sides of him, and then I'll just do one on the back too, because people will like that. And then what I like to do, just my preference, right here, this border and the handle, I will do with his border from his napkin. I just think it looks really good and goes well together. So that's my plan. I've cut my napkin in all different shapes and sizes because you have to cut around Mr. Chef here to get all your red that you need. A few other tips. I have this table. Underneath my table I put a shower curtain because when I am Mod Podging, I use a lot of Mod Podge for wicker. You don't go easy like some other projects like glass or something like that. You use quite a bit, and it does get everywhere. Even if you can see my apron, I've had this apron about maybe 6-7 years now, and it is covered in Mod Podge drips from my fingers or whatever, and it could really stand on its own, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty stiff and full of glue. I put my Mod Podge in a disposable container. That way when I'm done, I can cover it up, it stays fresh. I used to put it just in a styrofoam bowl when I was working, but then it would dry up. I didn't have a way to cover it properly, and I was wasting a lot, so I came up with this. I use the styrofoam bowls if I'm working on a wet project you can lean it on the bowl and it won't stick to the styrofoam bowl, so that is very helpful. So for example, if I have the back all done already and I set it on here to maybe work on the handle or something, it's not going to stick on me. Or maybe I need it to dry overnight, so I stick it on this bowl to protect other surfaces and it will dry. Also, like I said, I use a lot of Mod Podge. I buy mine in the gallon size, and right now I have 3 gallons. I like to use the gloss because I like that extra shine that it gives. It's just my preference, but that's what I do use. And I keep some extra plies from other napkins handy so that I can wipe off my fingers quick if I need to. So I keep those right next to me. Alright, I think we'll get started to show you the technique. And if I remember anything else, we'll tell you as we're going. Alright, so like I said, I use my fingers. You put Mod Podge on the surface first so that your napkin is going to grab a hold of that surface and stick. So I'm just going to, and I'm not covering the whole thing to like saturate it, just enough in the area of where I'm about to put this napkin. I want to try to center my chef, and I will just press him down a little bit. And now I am going to smother him up in his Mod Podge glue here. Like I said, the wrinkles aren't going to matter, so if you can see some wrinkles right now, we're about to smother this up in Mod Podge and you're not even going to see those. I am pressing it right in to the wicker, like I said earlier. The only spots I didn't want to maybe wrinkle were the picture of him, so I just made sure those spots weren't wrinkled so that all of his picture shows up well. Take a look at that. I know it's wet and gluey, but like I said, I smother the whole thing. No wrinkles that you can see really, and hopefully when it dries, I'll be able to show you again. So now I'm going to add in the red parts over here. First I'm going to put my chef on the back, the other chef, so that I fill in both spots. There you go. I put him on the back and he's all sealed in nice and good there. Like I said, I'm going to fill in with the rest with red. I don't know if you can focus in on my fingers, but you can just see that I'm just pressing it in and it's just smooth right with my fingers, right along. And pretty easy. I love working with wicker. It's so easy. It's not complicated at all. If your wicker is not white ahead of time, like this one was, paint it white. If you don't, the wicker's going to show through. So sometimes people will think, oh, I have a dark napkin, like this red one, for example. Of course, the wicker's not going to show through the red, but look at Chef's coat, it's white. If it wasn't painted white, the darker wicker would show through his coat. And you don't want that. So I've made the mistake many times. I've learned my lesson, and I paint all of my wicker, unless it's already white, with just white spray paint. It's quick, it's easy. I do have, you know, acrylic or chalk paint if I'm in a bind and can't get outside or out to the garage. But the white spray paint, 99 cents a can, real easy. What else for a tip? When I get done Mod Podging and it's all dry, I then have the Mod Podge spray sealer. So I coat it like this. So I put the glue on first, I coat it very heavily with my fingers. I do not do another coat after that. You can if you want to. I don't. But I do spray it with the sealer and that seals it in. When I hadn't been spraying it with the sealer and I was at those craft shows and it was hot, my stuff would get sticky, and I didn't like it, and I didn't want people to feel it and not like it either, right? So now I seal it and it doesn't have that issue where it gets sticky and stick to things. Okay, my guy is all filled in. Now I will say that usually a basket, no matter what size, will take me 2 to 3, we'll say days, because I need them to dry so that I can see if I missed any spots. And this guy's little, I'm not gonna do the inside of him, but for my other baskets, like I just showed you, I usually do the inside. So I would do the outside, let it dry, do the inside, let it dry, and then get all the spots I missed the 3rd day. This guy, I'm cruising along. I'm thinking that I can get done with him maybe today. That'd be great. So I'm gonna start with his border now. All right, so I think you get the idea. I'm gonna do the whole handle and the whole back edge in his little border there, and he's gonna look great. For someone like this guy here, I will probably sell him, he's small, probably for like $10, and he will fly off the shelf so quick. I have a smaller one even yet of him, and I might do that one for like $7. They're kind of like a nesting set. But thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, email me or text me. Even come on my Facebook page of Wrathations. Find me there. I'd love to have a chat. And good meeting you.